What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to the Sports Exchange. My name is Tim, and next week got a co-host for the NFL show along with the college football one. But this episode on the 49ers, on the verge of not making the playoffs, is Saquon Barkley, the best running back in the NFL. Do the Detroit Lions have the best NFL roster from top to bottom? And Commanders, Steelers, Texans, Cardinals, Dolphins, Chargers, are they contenders or pretenders? We're going to get into that right now.
Let's get started with the 49ers and where they're on their way to.
Yeah.
I don't think, with Brock Purdy being injured right now, I don't know if they have a real chance this next week. And with Trent Williams and Nick Bosa also being injured, it's just going to be really hard unless they can distribute the ball to Kittle and Debo. I don't know what they're going to do, but right now, I don't see them making that run this year.
No, I mean, they do have the roster to compete for a Super Bowl. They're just not healthy. They're not on the field. And with that being the case, I don't see them making the playoffs either. Their magic number right now, because they're 5-6, they have the fifth strongest remaining schedule in the NFL. So their magic number right now is 5. And this is their next games. They have the Lions, Bills. They have to win one of those games.
They have to win one of those two.
They have to win against either the Lions or the Bills. I don't see them winning either of those.
No, and they're not with the injuries they have. But they're gonna this offseason have to acquire some more wide receivers. You can't just be running on just Debo.
No.
And Ricky Pearsall. You guys gotta just recoup and move forward for next season. Try to acquire some off-season assets.
Now, do you think Brock Purdy is their quarterback for the entire future? Because it's coming on a contract year. Do they pay Brock Purdy starting quarterback money? Or do they look at this draft and be like, you know what? We've been riding this pony for a while. It's been working out for us until this year. Are we taking that chance for the next 3 to 4 years with this next contract and paying Brock Purdy?
He's young, but he distributes and he generally stays pretty healthy. I think they give him a contract, but it won't be the contract anyone expects. It won't be a mind-boggling number. I don't think he's gonna, get Deshaun Watson numbers, but I think he
kind of like Justin Herbert numbers.
Yeah, probably a Herbert number.
Okay.
No. I bet he ends up with about 6 to 7% of the salary cap. Nothing crazy.
Okay, that would put him right around 33.
Yeah.
I think that would put him 33.
Yeah.
Between 30 and 33 a year.
Yeah.
3-4 years. All right. I mean, I'm all for it. I like Brock Purdy. I don't like him when he's playing the Lions. I don't like what he did to my Lions in the NFC Championship game. It's still, but we did it to ourselves. We had that lead. We gave it up. It happened. But you know what? We're using that fuel for this year, and I'm so excited. Speaking of the Detroit, does Detroit have the best roster from top to bottom in the NFL? Because what they've gone through this season, losing Aiden Hutchinson, Alex Anzalone, Terry Arnold, Carlton Davis, Afonso Melifonwu, Jalen Reeves-Maybin, along with a lot more, this team has not allowed a touchdown in the last 10 quarters.
They are playing next man up. That's what they're doing. They're playing next man up football.
I love that mentality.
And that's a great mentality, And the coach, Campbell comes over, he puts his arm around the next guy and says, "Get your butt in there. Let's go rip off kneecaps." And they do that. Yeah. And it's been very impressive, a very impressive run by the Lions.
Yeah, defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn doesn't get enough credit for what this defense is doing. But I'll tell you what, it is not going unnoticed in NFL front offices around the league. Aaron Glenn is on everyone's radar for open coach vacancies around the league, along with offensive coordinator Ben Johnson. So what do you put the percentage at that these two coordinators are going to be with Detroit next year?
I give them a 0% chance. Zero. No, I'm serious, because what's going to happen is other teams are going to flaunt money in front of them, and they're going to have to take it because it's going to build their coaching career. And if they don't take it, they're probably going to ask for too much money and end up getting fired anyway.
Okay.
Okay? Because that's what's going to end up happening in the long run. 2-3 years from now, if they stay where they're at and they don't accept a head coaching job, they'd have to do it either next year or it's probably not going to happen for a while.
Right, because Ben Johnson had multiple offers last year.
It is going to be a now or never decision.
Okay. So, because Ben Johnson was just like, no, I got unfinished business here. So, I think I'm with you. It's 0% chance that these two coordinators are here if the Lions win the Super Bowl.
If they win,
I think the culture that the
I think
Detroit
if
Lions
they win the championship, they'll be fine. Not just the Super Bowl.
Okay.
I think even if they make it to the NFC
if
championship.
they make it to the Super Bowl.
If they make it to the Super Bowl,
they're gone.
They're gone.
They're gone. Okay. Yeah, because
the world freeze over.
Yeah, because I like the culture that Detroit has right now. It's like they're not here for themselves. They're here for the city. They're here for everyone else. They're not here for personal stats. Look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. He would be a number one receiver on any team in the NFL. But he's okay being the second option.
Yeah.
Behind Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, Khalif Raymond. He's fine with it.
He's
as long
okay
as
sharing
the Lions
touches.
get a double.
Yeah, he's all about the wins, and that's the real mentality.
Yeah. Let's see. Saquon Barkley just put up 255 yards on the Rams, which you have to ask yourself, is he the best running back in the NFL?
At this current moment, absolutely. Now, Derrick Henry's putting up absolutely astronomical. That's not a word.
Astronomical.
Astronomical. Yeah. Well, that's life for you. All right. He's putting up big numbers too, and when you look at the two of them, it's like it's a very close contest. It just kind of depends on which one's going to have to face a weaker defense, and that's honestly how the weeks have been going, and that's who's going to go off. Now, the athletic ability of Saquon Barkley versus the trucking ability of Derrick Henry, and they're two different backs. You have to understand that. And if you don't understand that, you need to watch more football and listen to this podcast. Because what we're saying is that Saquon is a more athletic back, but is he the number one back? Absolutely. Because of the yardage that he's putting up in the current statistics. Now, can that change next week depending on how Derrick Henry plays? Absolutely. But he's a different type of back with that big body back that just plows for yards. And, when you're 6'2", 240 plowing through stuff, you're going to get stats. He's done it since he was in high school, all the way through college, and all the way through the NFL. And as soon as he retires, he'll have a head mounted at the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, right there in Canton, right where he belongs. So my question for you is what do you think counts better for a running back? Production or rushing touchdowns?
Longevity.
There we go. Okay, we're on the same boat line.
Longevity.
Because any offense can throw the ball down the field till you get within the 5-yard line. You can hand it off, and you just, rushing touchdown. This guy's leading.
No, they generally get the yardage, and they generally get the touchdowns. Adrian Peterson's a good name to put out there of recent retirees, or fairly recent retirees.
Yeah.
So
if you had Adrian Peterson or Chris Johnson, who are you taking?
Oh. I'm going to take Adrian Peterson.
Okay. As would I.
Yeah.
As would I. Because you got the speed and thing, but if it's 3rd and 1 at the 1-yard line, are you taking Chris Johnson or are you taking Adrian Peterson?
Adrian Peterson.
Right.
Yes.
So you have to take the back that can do
the job.
Both.
Yeah. You have to have the 3-down back.
Right. And for me, I'm taking Derrick Henry has the best back because whenever the Eagles get into that within the 5-yard line, they go with a tush push, or they go with the play action with Jalen Hurts. They run they don't.
Whereas
they
the
don't send
Ravens
it up.
hand it off to him.
Right. The
Okay.
Raven, unless it's a 2-point conversion when you're going against. Oh my God, that play.
No, that's what makes football so interesting.
Yeah.
Because you have two different types of backs. Because you don't really want Saquon powering it through into all those linemen. Whereas, Henry, here you go, buddy. Take that stuff. Let's go. Take it.
You built this way.
Yeah. Have fun, man. You signed that contract, buddy.
Which, I'm going to circle back to the Lions. It's why David Montgomery, Jameer Gibbs.
It's the
They
tandem.
have a Derrick Henry. They have a Saquon Barkley
You
on
know,
the same team.
you know what the Lions kind of remind me of? It was when Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints had Alvin Kamara and Mike Ingram, and they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Right? And they won that Super Bowl. Lions, and I'm a Vikings fan.
So is my other co-host.
Yeah.
You go, Skull!
Oh, yeah, skull, baby, skull.
All right. Let's see. Excuse me. Let's see. Bye-bye. We covered that. All right. So let's get into these teams that are contenders or pretenders. We could be different on these. This is my opinion.
We're going to probably be different.
Let's start with the Washington Commanders. They're currently sitting second in the NFC East behind the Eagles at 7-5. They're on a 3-game losing streak to the Steelers, Eagles, and Cowboys. Jane Daniels, being a rookie quarterback, is starting to take its toll, and you're starting to see it. But he still gives the Commanders the best chance of winning on the field. So if Washington fans can just hang in there, be patient, this will all work out in the future. As of right now, though, based on what I've seen with the remaining schedule, which is the Titans, Saints, Eagles, Falcons, and Cowboys, the Washington Commanders are unfortunately pretenders.
You know, I'm going to have to disagree. I think that Washington is a contender. And the reason why is because of those teams that you just named off. The teams that they're going to have to play. They're going to have the Steelers there. They're going to have the Titans. They're also going to have...
Just beat the Texans.
Yeah. But I'm going to put my money on the Washington Commanders. I think they bounce back. I think that they can beat the Saints. I think they're going to beat the Falcons. The Cowboys had that little win against them, but... dude, that was a little
Washington
win,
came
man.
back very late and made it a game. Before that, it was...
Washington didn't come to show up to play. They thought they already had it
Until
in the
8
bag.
minutes to go in the
And
game.
the hardest thing to do is to come back and beat the same team twice. So I'm going to say that they win 4 of their next 5 games, and they are contenders. And the only team that the Washington Commanders lose to is going to be the Eagles. Mark my words.
Okay. Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers are 8-3, and some would say that's already enough to put them in the contender category. Not so fast. Let's look at what they've done so far, starting with the wins, which are credible, which is the Ravens, Commanders, Broncos, and Chargers. The Chargers game, Justin Herbert got hurt, and it was still kind of a close game. So let's throw that little asterisk up there. But that's it for teams with winning records. Let's look at their losses. Colts, Cowboys, Browns. All winnable games. That's what concerns me about the Steelers team and their remaining schedule. Their magic number is 4. The remaining schedule is not the easiest. At the Bengals, home versus the Browns, who just beat them. At the Eagles, at the Ravens, home versus the Chiefs, and ending the season at the Bengals.
So that is a very, very strong ending schedule.
Right.
So if they can go 50% on that schedule, they are contenders. And the reason why is because they're already 8-3. If they can go 50% on that, that means look. If they can go 50% on that, they have a 12-win season.
Depends on what the Bengals do.
But yes, that's true.
If the Ravens take the division and the Bengals go on a run, they're sitting at 3rd in that division.
That's true. Now, if they can end up winning 2 times against, those teams, against the Bengals, they could end
They
up.
have a better shot.
They have a better shot of being that contender.
But do I see them doing it with that 2 quarterback system that they got going on with Najee Harris off and on? You never really know what he's going to do per game. I don't trust the Steelers team.
Okay.
So I have them as pretenders.
Okay.
I got them as pretenders.
Okay.
Now, do they have a chance of getting a wild card spot? Yes. Do I see them winning their division? Absolutely not. With
No.
that remaining schedule.
No.
No. So let's go to the Houston Texans, who are atop of the AFC South at 7-5, coming off a loss from the Tennessee Titans, and is 2-3 in their last 5 games. This team has been hit with the injury bug. They're starting to get back. They got Will Anderson back. They lost Petrie. Whatever his name was. God dang it.
No.
I know I put it in here.
Yeah, Petrie.
Yeah, Petrie.
You had it right.
Yeah. Number 5
Yeah.
on that defense. The good news is they have a bye week coming after the Jaguars, which I think they can beat the Jaguars, no problem.
Yeah, they should run through Jacksonville.
Then they have a bye week where they can get all these players healthy. But they will face the Dolphins, Chiefs, Ravens.
And the
And
Dolphins
the Titans.
have Tua back, and he threw 5 touchdowns last game. 4 touchdowns last game. Man,
He back.
the Chiefs just acquired DeAndre Hopkins as another weapon.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't stopped being on a roll. Ravens are on a roll because they just closed out a good one last night with the Chargers.
Yeah.
And the last thing that they have is with the Titans, and the Titans have actually been a sneaky good team. Will Levis is getting that ball distributed, and he's moving it around. They're a sneaky good team. Watch them be there next to one of the other contenders here in the next year or so.
Yeah, and another one is the Colts that could possibly mess up the Texans, but they've already played them twice. They've beaten the Colts twice, so there's no tiebreaker equation there.
Yeah,
they literally had to be a worse record than the Colts.
I think they can beat them.
They'll
beat them.
I have the Houston Texans as contenders.
I'm with you 100% on the same reasons. Joe Mixon is going to get the ball a lot.
I love Joe Mixon.
He's going to just take it, they'll rock, and they'll distribute that ball around. They've got Tank Dell back, right?
Yep.
Dude, they're going to be a hot team. They're contending this year.
All right, the Arizona Cardinals, who will have their best shot at winning this division since Kurt Warner has played.
Huh.
The thing is, the curtain is closing fast because they just lost to Seattle. The 49ers are hurt. The Rams can't figure out how to stop teams on defense. But the Seahawks have a tough time remaining consistent. They're up and down.
I think Geno leads them.
Gino's a good quarterback. When DK Metcalf was hurt, they did not do anything.
When it comes to Seattle and the Cardinals, I think it's gonna be Seattle that wins that.
Division. Seattle just won.
Yeah,
Seattle just beat them.
Yeah.
The only thing
as far as the overall records, I think Seattle ends up finishing better than them.
Okay, so you think Seattle wins that division?
Yes.
The NFC West.
Yes. Go Seattle.
Okay. Well, the Cardinals still had the Vikings and the Panthers on their schedule.
Skull.
But this division is tough because everyone is within like 2 games of each other.
Yes.
The 49ers, Rams, Seahawks, Cardinals. They're all within 2 games. And I have the Arizona Cardinals as pretenders.
Arizona Cardinals are pretenders.
Yeah.
They look good, but they're not good. They're just slowly going to deteriorate these last few weeks.
Yeah, when it comes into the colder months, the Arizona weather, playing over here at the East Coast.
That's not fun for them.
No, it's not. Well, I mean, Minnesota's indoor as well. Yeah. Open that roof up. The Miami Dolphins will most likely not win their division since the Buffalo Bills have That pretty much locked up at
Yep.
9-2.
Yep, they're
And the Dolphins are 5-6.
Yeah,
So
it's
not
gonna
looking
be-
good there.
Yeah, it's going to be.
What will determine this season is if they can make it to the if they can make it to the postseason is Thursday when they take on the Green Bay Packers on Thanksgiving.
Really? I actually didn't know that one.
Yup.
Okay.
The Packers are 4-1 their last 5. Their only loss coming to the hands of NFC North leading Detroit Lions. If they can just get past this game, they'll have the Jets, Texans, 49ers, and Browns. So, for the Dolphins, if they can just get past the Packers and survive the Texans, because I think they can beat the Jets. Everyone's doing it, so why not the Dolphins? The 49ers, banged up. Browns aren't playing for anything. And then the Jets again.
You know, they have a good chance if they can get past the Packers, like you said.
Right. This game is everything on Thanksgiving for the Miami Dolphins. If they lose and they go 6-6,
Do you think it's the return of dominance for Tyreek Hill? And now it's going to be a cold weather game. It's going to be cold weather. We got a snowstorm here in Michigan. It may have snowed over there.
I know.
It could be cold over in Green Bay.
It's always cold in Green Bay in December or November.
But it might be to the cold that Miami Dolphins don't like to try to play there. And the thing that I'm thinking about here is that when you've got a warm weather team moving up into a cold weather climate, you got to throw the ball around to keep your guys warm.
Yeah.
So do you think Tua can throw another 4 or 5 touchdowns? Because that's what he's going to have to need to beat the Green Bay Packers at home.
So I don't know if you know this, but Tua spent a lot of time up in the mountains on the West Coast.
Okay.
Throwing the ball in the cold weather up in the mountains.
Okay. And
To
that's
get
what
ready for this part of the season.
Correct.
And it's a different element when it's actually playoff ball, like playoff implemented football, when instead of just going out there throwing the ball.
Well, see, the difference in this cold weather stuff is a lot of times they're going to want to throw the ball around rather than hand it off. When you hand it off in cold weather, your guys get hurt and banged up. When you throw it, they get hit and they fall down.
Right.
You know, when you're running it into a big crowd, that's when your multi-million-dollar franchise just went down the pooper.
Yeah.
So,
although I think Miami's got the running back to do it. Devin Kane, he's a beast.
he is.
He's
He
fast
is.
and he's physical.
They got to trade Mozart.
Yep. Yup. Let's see. Last but not least, the Los Angeles Chargers, who are 7-3, second in the AFC West, behind the Chiefs. I don't see the Chargers winning this division either because Patrick Mahomes and those Kansas City Chiefs have the NFL wrapped around the tiny little finger, and it seems like they just can't ever have anything bad happen to them. But the Chargers' chances for the 5th seed in the playoffs are pretty high. They can do that. I know they just lost to Baltimore on Monday Night Football. That took a little bit of slant to it. But I think they have a team to recover from. Baltimore has a tough schedule. Chargers don't. Chargers have a little bit of an easier schedule than the Ravens. So as long as Justin Herbert can get a little higher in his not so fabulous rankings, because he's 20th in passing yards, 18th in passing touchdowns, just bump that up a little bit.
Well, I think that has to do with that Harbaugh offense that he's trying to bring out of college. And it looks very similar. There's a lot of the same formations. They're handing the ball off to Dobbins just like he handed it off to Corum. And it looks very, very similar to what I watched all last year. Now, the thing is with the players that he's got, you know, he's made a good relationship with Justin Herbert. He calls him the Beast. You know,
I saw that.
And you know, at first I don't think Justin was all about him, but now they've built up a good relationship, and I think moving forward, I think that they are going to be a very good team. You know, they just kind of put the Ravens on the ropes for a little bit and gave them a good game. You know, the Ravens came out with a good game last night, but the Chargers are there. The Chargers are a good squad.
Yeah, they're just a Derrick Henry away.
Yeah, or a Todd Gurley or a LaDainian Tomlinson.
Yeah. All right, so the playoff picture. Oh, wait. Are the Chargers contenders or pretenders? I have them as contenders.
I have them as a contender as well.
Yeah. Okay. Just
Okay.
to clear that up.
Yeah, just to move forward there.
Playoff picture as of right now: Chiefs have the number 1 spot in the AFC, followed by the Bills, Steelers, Texans, Chargers, Ravens, and Broncos.
Yeah.
Taking up that 7th speed with Bo Nix.
Yeah, Bo Nix is looking good this year.
Yeah, but you know what? Those Dolphins,
Yeah.
Colts, and Bengals are coming for that 7th spot.
They'll find it.
They're
They'll
coming.
find it.
They're coming.
One of them will find it, I think.
Lions and the NFC have the number 1 spot, followed by the Eagles, Seahawks, Falcons, Vikings, Packers, and Commanders. Now, in the hunt, I have Cardinals, Bucks, Rams, and 49ers. Do you see any of those teams coming up getting that 7th spot?
I can see the Bucks squeaking through.
I was going to say,
Honestly,
Buccaneers.
out of all of those, the Bucks. Niners are dealing with the injuries. Cardinals are a hit or miss team, and they've got some rough patches of their own. They've got to clear up. The Rams' defense isn't holding up, but the Bucks look good, man. The Bucks have been. Baker found his spot.
Yeah, he really did.
Baker found the Bucks, or the Bucks found Baker. I don't care what you call it, but he found his spot, and he's booming like the Sooner he is.
Yeah, I like that because I've been calling the Atlanta Falcons frauds lately.
Oh yeah, I don't like the Falcons.
So I think the Bucks are at 4, and I think the Rams get that 7th spot.
Honestly, the Rams might squeak through, but I think that it's going to end up being the Bucks.
Well, I'm saying
Yeah,
like the Bucks
yeah.
would be up here at 4.
Oh yeah,
And then the Rams would take the 7.
I'm keeping Commanders there.
Oh, you're keeping the Commanders over them. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Austin Eckler, Jason
I
Daniels. I mean,
know.
they're over that Rams defense. Absolutely.
I know. Were you a fan of what the Commanders did in the beginning of the season, getting rid of Jahan Dotson?
No,
Okay, I wasn't. Either.
No.
I was like, you have a rookie quarterback, you get rid of your best receiver.
no, no. Has he done anything?
No, he hasn't. No.
No,
But still.
but
All right, now let's get into the picks. Wrap this up. Last week I went 10-3. We're going to start with the Thanksgiving game, starting with the Bears at the Lions. I got Lions all day, baby.
I've got Lions.
Let's go.
All right, we're gonna be eating turkey and watching a good Lions game.
Finally.
Yeah.
Giants and Cowboys. This is when you throw up your Thanksgiving dinner. Because this game is going to be garbage. But I got the Cowboys.
Don't overestimate, man. I think this is gonna be a close game. You got.
Hold on, no. Nope. If Drew Lock plays for the Giants, Giants win. But it's going to be Danny DeVito.
It's gonna be Danny DeVito versus Cooper Rush.
Oh.
And as ugly as that sounds, it may end up being a good game. But I'm gonna take the Cowboys in this one.
Basically, just prolonged my answer.
No.
No, yeah. Dolphins versus Packers.
I've got the Packers.
I got the Dolphins just because I want to see the fucking Packers lose.
Yeah.
Just
I'm not. I hate the Packers with a passion.
Come on, to
school. But they're gonna win, man. Jordan Love's a good quarterback. He sat the bench. He did his time. He did it the right way. They run a good program, and I freaking hate them. And they're gonna end up beating the Dolphins in this cold weather. It's only gonna be like 30 degrees here, so I know it's only going to be like 20 something there. 30
it's gonna
degrees
be night
there.
game too, so it's gonna be even colder.
Yeah. It's gonna
like
be
17.
Yeah, they're just gonna hand the ball off to Aaron Jones, and it's gonna be a bad night for the Dolphins.
Damn it. So I'm hopeful, Dolphins.
Now our first Friday game coming up is gonna be that Raiders-Chiefs game, and the Chiefs are home. What do you think?
Raiders.
You think the Raiders are gonna do something?
I want them to.
You know, it sounds nice, but I think the Chiefs are gonna end up, getting around Max Crosby.
No, Max Crosby's gonna have 6 sacks, 4 tackles for loss, and an interception. just going crazy
Yeah, you live in a dream world, man.
now.
It's a dream world.
That's how much I wanted the Lions to pick Crosby up.
No, that would definitely solidify their best team.
Yeah.
You got Crosby and Hutchinson next year.
Right.
Oh my goodness.
It's like I'm taking the Super Bowl for the Lions next 3 years.
Depending on contract.
I'm taking the Raiders on that one. Just because the Chiefs just struggled against the Panthers. They struggled almost against every team they face. Their largest win of victory is 13 points.
They like to hang in there. They like to keep it close.
I don't know why. But, yeah, I'm taking the Raiders on this one. Texans versus the Jaguars. I got the Texans taking care of business to Trevor Lawrence, making his first game back off his injury.
Yep, Texans. Yeah.
Chargers versus the Falcons. Falcons are fraud. That's why they start with an F. I'm taking the Chargers.
Chargers, they're going to hand the ball off to Dobbins that game, and Kirk Cousins is not going to hit anyone other than Drake London, and that's going to be the game.
No, he's also going to hit the Chargers defense for 2 picks.
Oh, yeah.
2 picks. Kirk Cousins. Let's see. Titans versus Commanders. I got the Commanders at home. They need to get a win very desperately. I think it comes right here.
I think it's the Commanders as well in this game.
Cardinals versus the Vikings at home, coming off that big win
Skull.
last week against the Bears. Right? No. But who did the Vikings play? Who did the Vikings just beat?
Who did we just beat?
Yeah. All right, Vikings fan.
I watched the whole game and it slipped in my
I know
mind
it's
too.
slipping. I was watching it too.
I
want to say it was the Bears. When did the Bears?
Yeah, it was the Bears, wasn't it?
It went in overtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was the Bears. I knew the whole time. I
Yeah.
talked myself out of the answer.
He confused me.
It's the Bears. Taking the Vikings.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Colts versus Patriots. I got the Colts. Anthony Richardson getting his groove back after that devastating loss to the Lions. I'm sorry.
I'm going to take the Pats. They have a tendency to beat young quarterbacks.
They also have a young quarterback, Drake May.
Yeah, but
Who is going to be a baller in the future.
Yeah, the defense has a tendency to beat them.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the Pats.
Okay. Steelers versus the Bengals. Bengals, this is a win or die.
This is a Bengals game.
You're not coming back and making a
think
playoff run if you lose this game. So I'm taking Bengals.
I'm taking Bengals as well.
All right.
Yeah.
Seahawks versus the Jets. The Jets, I don't know what's going on in that organization. They need to sit Aaron Rodgers because he's your only asset left to pawn off.
Oh, he's definitely starting according to the fantasy football apps
Yeah.
that I'm looking at. He's definitely starting, and one of the guys in our league had dropped him, and I am trying to acquire that waiver.
Yeah, so
So, if any of you guys are watching,
My God.
there it is.
I got the Seahawks.
You got the Seahawks there. I
Yeah.
also have the Seahawks too winning that game, but I still want him.
We got the Rams and Saints. Saints were the first frauds of this whole season with that 2-0 start and then nothing. Then they surprise you with 1 win, but I'm still not taking him. I'm taking Matthew Stafford and his ability to pick away secondaries with Puka Nacua and Cooper Kupp.
I'll go with the Rams as well.
All right.
Yep.
Bucks versus Panthers. Taking the Bucks. Baker Mayfield. Come on now.
Panthers can't stop a nosebleed.
Eagles versus Ravens. I'm going for the Ravens.
Ooh, I'm going for the Eagles because Saquon is the number 1 back.
Oh, shit. I forgot about the whole discussion.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm taking Ravens. Derrick Henry. And because the Eagles are really close to the Lions and the NFC. So I want that little bit of game
You know,
gas.
I'll never see Derrick Henry do a reverse jump over a guy, but I also want to see Saquon Barkley running through 3 guys at once.
No, yes, you will see Derrick Henry do that. Sunday afternoon against the Eagles.
Okay.
The reverse hurdle.
The reverse hurdle by Henry.
Yeah. All right. 49ers versus Bills. Come on now.
Bills.
What are we doing? I know it's any given Sunday. Anything can happen. But come on.
It's
It's
gonna
Brock
be a
Purdy
Bills.
going against Josh Allen.
Is Purdy back?
He should be back. He was almost questionable for last week's game.
We'll see.
Bills.
Bills.
Yeah. And then Monday night's huge game of epic proportions. We got the Cleveland Browns against the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Ride the Broncos.
Yes,
Ride on.
Yeah, I don't know why they're promoting this game so much more than any other Monday Night Football. I think it's because of the two teams. That was like, hey, like no one's going to tune into this shit. Like, can we just throw a little bit more ad money into this?
I think they're just trying to get away with something on Cyber Monday, to be honest.
Ugh, it's horrible. Yeah, I got Broncos, Bo next. And that's going to wrap it up for this show. If you haven't already, go in and like and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever we upload a video. Trying to put more content out for everyone. So be on the lookout for that. And with that being said, Joe, thanks for joining.
Happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yes. And we'll see you next week.